What is going on, everybody? Depraved / here, and we are back with another music reaction.
Another Nightwish reaction. It's been a
That's
while.
right. I'm
like
Depraved.
A week. I'm Hellcat.
Together we are.
HellaDepraved.
Yes, we are. I'm still so vibing from the last song we just did.
Don't worry, we'll get into this one too.
Yes.
So, Nightwish, it's been about a week.
Yeah.
And we are back, and one of the most recommended of their newer album was Noise, which actually has an official music video as well.
And we would like to say thank you to of you that came to watch Our Poet and the Pendulum reaction.
And actually loved the breakdown and left comments for us.
Loved the breakdown. I did not expect that many people to sit through as much of it as they did.
Yeah, me neither. Apparently
we have
we
one of
make
the
a
best...
great podcast, though.
Yeah.
That is certified on our comment list.
True.
So we really appreciate it, guys.
Now,
basically,
she knows more about this song than I do. Even though I don't
only
think she's
because
even heard
I
it.
have heard about
Right.
it.
This is a true reaction for both of us.
Yes.
For once.
This was a 2020 release, the album. So I have not actually listened to any of it. I did not watch this music video. But again, I have heard about it. So they haven't been able to perform this live yet because of quarantine and COVID. So as of right now, the music video studio recording is the only version available.
Okay.
Which I'm sure we'll appreciate the music video a whole lot.
Right.
So we did check the closed captioning box, and
it's not there.
It's not there. So I have the lyrics pulled up on my phone. We're not going to be reading along, but when we pause, we will go back and check and make sure that we are correct. And
I think the way we're going to do this is try and hit it, pause it after every verse.
Yeah. Which is normally a stanza with them.
We'll pause it after the first verse, or stanza, or however they do it, and then pause it after the first initial chorus to talk about that, and then from there on we'll just pause it after the verse and the chorus.
Right. That will be our goal, people. We can't guarantee, because without being familiar with the song, we're not exactly sure where pauses are. This is not divided up into 5 acts like Poet and Pendulum was, but we're going to try. So I'm super psyched about this, though. Like, new Nightwish for me to listen to.
Right.
That's super exciting.
All of it's new to me.
I also know that this one, this album specifically, Tomas spent, I think, like 18 plus months just getting the 3 people that sing geared up to sing in this album. Like, he really wanted to display their talent. So there's Marco, who you saw was the bass player, of course Floor, and then crap, I forget his name, but he is the third person that sometimes joins in the background.
Right.
So I am very excited to see. I have heard that this is, I guess, kind of vocally, acrobatically, Floor's best. So I know people are super psyched to see this live, because she's just absolutely gonna slay, but I'm excited to see this.
Okay.
Very. Having said that, guys, we are watching this as though you have already seen it.
Yes.
If you have not, please click the link in the description below, hop on over, watch it. Leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment saying that we sent you. Come on back. We say that because we are going to pause. So if you like to watch your music the first time straight through, you need to go over and watch it first.
Yes. Because we're breaking things down. That's what we do.
It is what we do.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, slash it up and break it down. This is Nightwish with Noise. Let's get it. Oh, and before I push play, we will also be talking about the video.
Yes.
It's kind of a thing we do. So.
That's very Matrixy. all the tubes and the. I just, yeah.
It's very Slenderman-ish.
Very what?
Slenderman.
Okay.
Yo, before we get into this,
I want that outfit.
I am so sorry, guys. This video, I'm absolutely loving so far, and we're only 35 seconds
Right.
into it. I want that wall.
I want Flora's dress.
I want the wall with the heart, the thing that
Right.
keeps for.
The pixelated
Yes.
kind of thing. And the mirror, because I'm very Alice in Wonderland, guys. So that mirror is like through the looking glass kind of. But you can already see everybody's on their cell phones and taking selfies and. But dude, that dress is amazing. Okay.
Waving machine, reveal the screen, zoom in for flack and misery, bleed some pixels, shoot yourself, pose for the dead, have a near-life experience, hit a hard air matrix, now you're a star, paying avatar, feeding the beast in your loud ego land, you have become tool over tool, digital fools, telling you to shut up and dance.
Huh. Okay. So, crave the machine, revere the screen, zoom in for flack and misery, bleed some pixels. Of course, flack is negative backlash, basically.
Right, and they're saying zoom in for flack and misery, and I think it's not being happy with the picture that you took of yourself.
Oh, possibly.
Because so many people spend so much time picking their own selves apart because they know other people are going to.
Right. Well, and now that we post everything, people do pick people they don't even know apart. You
Right.
know, bleed some pixels again. It goes back to the electronic images.
I love the next section, though.
Yeah.
I'm actually having a pretty good time understanding this one.
Me too.
She says, shoot yourself, pose for the dead, have a near-life experience in a hot air matrix. The shoot yourself, pose for the dead is almost a double in and of itself,
Yeah.
which I love, because she's talking about taking a picture of yourself.
Right.
And pose for the dead. And I love how she's referencing people being dead because they're spending and wasting their life away just staring
Right.
at their phones.
Right.
Which people do.
Well, and also...
Which I'm sure actually a lot of you guys are probably watching this reaction on your phones now.
Look, I'm holding my phone. But again, I really don't think that this is a... like, demonization of the electronic use. I mean, it's the addiction to it, I think, is
Right.
what they're really discussing and saying is not healthy.
And then have a near
But I
life
love that line.
have a near life experience. And they're saying that because, let's face it, most pictures you take of yourself, it is a momentary glimpse of you smiling, looking happy,
Well,
and
but
looking lively.
normally the phrases have a near-death experience.
Right.
But she said pose for the dead right before that. So, like, people are forgetting to actually live, and they're living in, like, a almost synthetic world state that they've created via all the pixels that they've, in a hot air matrix, basically. And I love that it says matrix because all those tubes and the baby and everything reminded me of the Matrix at the beginning.
Right. And then she goes on to say, now you're a star, vain avatar, feeding the beast in your loud ego land. I love that little section as
I
well
love how
because
it's very poetic.
let's face it, there are so many people on social media just because they want people, hey, look at me, look at me.
Yeah, it's a very pay
Even-
attention to me
And even
culture.
we've had this conversation. Animal rescues.
Right.
People will sit around and film this animal struggling for 10, 15 minutes.
Instead of helping.
And then go and help.
Right.
And they do that as and I hate it because it's like, look at this poor animal.
I'm
Now,
gonna help it.
watch me help it.
I mean, I don't mind the ones that are literally they're filming the rescue as it's happening, but they don't have that segmented period where they're, or the people that are filming some kid get beat up, and I'm not talking about like stepping in with guns and cops and seriously putting yourself in danger, but I am talking about like stuff that you could break up, just filming it instead. But the now you're a star vain avatar, so many people on social media have an avatar. I have an avatar for Twitter and whatnot, and it's not my picture.
Right.
It doesn't have to be your picture. And you can be a star and you can hide behind that and never reveal your true self. But you are feeding that ego by getting the attention that you're craving and becoming a star because, so.
And I think that was the end of that part, actually.
Okay. Pretty sure you're right. No, it's not.
Okay.
We have one
so
more.
So there was one more.
Okay. You become tool of a tool. True. Digital ghouls telling you to shut up and dance. So basically you're a puppet.
Right.
I love how he says digital ghouls because it makes me think of Ghost in the Machine.
Right.
Like that's pretty much exactly what he's saying. You are a pixelated Ghost in the Machine. And you become a tool of a tool because honestly, social platforms, electronics were built to be tools, not to rule us or be such an addiction that we forget to live. They're meant to be tools to help us communicate.
They're supposed to enhance communication, but really it's divided people more than ever.
Right, and it was supposed to enhance like the ability to come together, but if you think about it, like it has really helped keep people at home. I mean, it's great for quarantine and stuff like that, but if you think about it, without the pandemic or whatever, it was meant to bridge countries or states or stuff like that, and instead we have generations of people that are staying home instead of going outside and connecting with anybody.
There's a guy by the name of Prince EA who has a spoken word poem.
Oh, that's an amazing one.
About technology. And one of my favorite things that he said is, and I'm not going to say it word for word the way he said it, but he says, like, things like Facebook and Twitter, what they really are anti-social networks.
Right.
Because they're considered social networking. You get on there to be social
right.
with people, but it's taking the social out of it.
Right.
Like, being social, you're supposed to be with your friends, be with your loved ones in person.
Physically.
Hang out, enjoy life, but so many people are just sitting at home.
Exactly. Well, and it's, like I said, it was developed to help bridge the gap, like, if you're far away.
Right.
But on the other hand, instead, there are, and I'm not saying everybody, but there are people that are sitting at home in their bedrooms instead of.
Right.
They have the ability to go out and play with the neighborhood kids in the street, or like adults, we have the ability to go out to restaurants and meet our friends. And instead, we're at home behind our screen, whether that's playing games, on
right.
the internet with friends, or, but we're isolating, I guess.
Right. It's a cult.
It's a what?
It's a cult.
So pretty.
That is so powerful. This imagery right here.
Seeing the Mona Lisa.
Instead of admiring the beauty of what is in front of them,
right,
they are more interested in what is going on their phones.
One of the most
iconic.
famous and iconic works of art, and very few people actually. Well, I mean, if you go to the Louvre, you get to see it, but
right.
you get to see it from actually probably as far back as they are because they have to protect it. But yeah, instead they're hooded. They're all sitting there with their phones. And she did say, color a yarn and the crowds will gather, which yarn is a string that's colored, but it's also a story. Like sea yarn or whatever is a myth, a longer tale. And so I like how she said that, like, paint a picture verbally and people are going to show up.
Right.
You know? It doesn't matter if it's true, by the way, because yarns are normally not true. They're myths. They're tales, tall tales, actually. So, yeah. Interesting.
And I love, again, a part of this visual representation, they are built to look like a cult of technology.
Right.
Where some people spend so much time worshiping their phones.
Right. Well, and they're in a concrete room. Like, everything is the same monochromatic color.
Right.
And then there's the Mona Lisa, vibrant, and nobody's paying attention.
Right. Alright, so that was the chorus.
But so I really like how the first verse, like, it does display Floor's lower register. Like, they kept it in that comfortable, regular voice.
Right.
And then it waits until the chorus to go into her head voice. And I'm really enjoying the music behind this, too. I mean, granted, they really did a good job pairing the lyrics with the visuals, but I don't want to discount how powerful her voice has been in this so far.
Okay, so then she goes on to say, noise from the sunless world, your mirror is black, only a copy stares back. And I like that because just being your phone screen.
Right.
And a copy being just a picture of yourself.
Right. Not even the real. Yeah.
Yeah, not even an actual reflection. I think that was mistyped because I don't think she said at a slave of Brave New World.
I would say probably a slave of Brave New World. Or as a slave.
And then it says, noise to decoy the human voice, brain insomniac, paranoiac? No?
Paranoiac.
Paranoiac, okay.
Yeah.
Endless noise.
Although, that might be correct, because your mirror is black, only a copy stares back at a slave of Brave New World.
Okay.
So it's the Brave New World being the digital world.
Right, which is still relatively new. I mean, let's face it, it's only been around for, 10, 15 years?
At the level that it's at. But yeah, so only your copy stares back at you from the black mirror, but your copy is the one staring at the slave. So
right.
You are the slave.
Okay.
I like how that's worded. And also, the mirror being black, I'm betting that that's a reference to the Black Mirror. It's a TV series that
right.
Each episode is a separate story, and they're all focused on modern technology going wrong. It's sci-fi, and it's kind of supposed to be verging on horror, creepy. It's kind of like the
right. I keep
Twilight
intending
Zone.
to eventually watch it, but
Twilight Zone, yeah, but like the new
right.
electronic era. So I'm guessing since Tomas likes to add in a whole bunch of references of that's what that is. But yeah, all right.
And I like what the video is doing too, where they're playing everything in reverse, and then they let it play out.
Right.
Because, again, when you're looking at your photo,
it is in reverse.
It is in reverse.
Right.
So. And
it's endless noise. Like, you see that they're in all these different positions, but in each one, they're still getting bombarded with whatever they're watching or they're doing, and they're not actually paying attention to anything around them.
Right.
Please love me, see how I bleed. Please endure. I have such empathy in me. Hunger is harm, beautifully numb. Death in the quiet air to have a meaning. Fire carry on, set hologram, lost in the
love this.
I was just making sure that
I was waiting for her
I
to
know,
drop
I know.
off. I've made that mistake once. Thank you.
once, and
That's
we'll
all
never
it
make it
takes.
again. Wow. I also want to point out that the visual of Tomas, he's representing pretty much what we were talking about with the animal rescues, because the way he's dressed and the watering can and everything, he's the environmentalist that was picketing, but he's also filming it.
Right.
So instead of actually being
He's more interested
present
in the praise than he is being in the moment.
Right. Instead of being present and actually paying attention to Mother Earth. And because I did hear her say something about the Earth has its own voice or something like that. I forget how she worded it. But again, with the visual of him walking around as like the Jolly Green Giant with his watering can, you know.
Well, going into the words here.
I had it. Yeah, there we go.
Please love me, see how I bleed. Please endure, I have such empathy in me. Which in word is an exact representation of everything we've talked about.
Right.
Because it's like, again, please, like, most people are on social media for acceptance. Please love me.
Right.
Like,
Love me. Love me.
see what I go through, and I have such empathy in me. The empathy of me being, again, wanting people to see you helping others.
Right. And we're not saying that all of that is bad, guys. Like, we're not saying that these people don't have that in them. It's just the addiction to filming it instead of experiencing it. It's not that the person themselves is so needy or whatever, that everything that they're doing is fake. It's just that sometimes you just need to be present. You just need to concentrate on what's going on, what you're doing. And also with that whole Please Love Me, the visuals were of the chick in the red dress. So it was a very visual kind of Please Love Me. Like, and they show her several times, the rewinding and, you know, of her stripping.
Right.
So, again, it's that body image type
This
thing.
has me wanting to do a review of that EA track. It says hum, noise hum, beautifully numb, tapping the quiet air to have a meaning. Again, a lot of people go to social media for acceptance, to
Right.
have a meaning in life. They are more worried about likes and follows
Right.
than they are even living their actual life.
Well, and the noise hum. I've read up on this because I didn't realize this was a thing, because I did live out of town, like quite out of town, and there were blackouts. But a lot of people don't realize how much electronics hum.
Right.
They've never actually experienced true quiet.
I was going to say, so things like your phone and stuff like that, you don't necessarily hear.
Right.
But they are always making
A vibration.
a vibration and making a noise.
Right. Anything that's plugged in, anything that's electric,
Right.
so phone lines, you know, all of our, I don't know, all of the countless cords and stuff, the TV. Some people will experience, like, if a blackout happens, silence, and they're like, okay, now I can tell. But unless you're kind of out of the city, you just never realize that it can get that quiet. I mean, there's a different type of background noise.
Right.
Crickets, for example.
And then, okay, so by a carry-on, sad hologram, lost in the maze, the real and human feel. I like that too, because again, when you're, how many times I've done it, you've done it, so many people have done it, where you log into YouTube or you log onto, it can even happen going into Twitter, where you start scrolling and you'll see something. So like, well, let me go listen or read that.
Right.
And you'll go listen to it and read it. And then all of a sudden something else will pop up.
Rabbit hole.
And you end up in this rabbit hole. Sometimes it's an intentional one, like you're looking up stuff.
Right.
But a lot of times it's just things pop up.
The
And you're like,
next
hey,
thing,
what's that?
yeah.
And next thing you know, 3 hours later, as your phone is at like 20%,
Right, you're like, ooh.
and you realize it's about to die, one of two things happens. Either you realize you have just wasted 3 hours of your life.
Right, or you plug in.
Or you
keep
plug
going.
it in and keep going. And I love that. That's why I like the Lost in the Maze
Right. It's like
wording,
a labyrinth.
because it is. It's a maze. You're just so caught in
Right.
it and going from here to there.
It's interesting that it starts with by a carrion, because like a carrion bird is like a vulture. They feed on the dead. So by a carrion, not adding in bird, is that like by something that's dead, because then he goes into sad hologram. So, and then it says the real and human feel, so it's basically saying it's a dead verse. The labyrinth is. It's not real. It's not real human
Right.
experience.
Well, I think again, you mentioning carrion being more like a vulture or a buzzard or something along those lines. If you remember at the beginning of the song, they even reference you being dead to begin with.
That's true. Posed for the dead, and then the near life experience.
Right. So I think that's just bringing that back around,
Right.
reiterating.
Again, it's
You're not
kind
really
of like
living.
a dead verse, yeah.
Right. And then my favorite so far of this whole song is this little section here. Sunset is free from this deity. The earth has a real voice. Go out and get in.
Reminds me of me just saying crickets.
Right.
Like, you think it's so quiet, but because you're not hearing all the electronic hum, but if you actually sit out there, like if you go camping,
Right.
eventually you're like, good God, I need to go home. It's so loud out here. And you thought it was silent 20 minutes earlier, but it's crickets, it's rainfall, it's snapping of twigs. I mean, like, wherever you are, there is a background noise. But
The rest of the song's pretty much the chorus.
The sunset is free from this deity. I guess, like, maybe...
Kind of. Refrains, really.
But I would guess that's kind of more like the... calling the social media platform a deity? Is that what he's talking about?
No.
Or he's talking about the actual outside.
Outside, the sunset is free from this deity. Saying... And I think that can actually be used as a double, if you really think about it. So they're saying, like, from this deity, from some unknown...
Whatever created the world.
Whatever creation, the sunset is free.
Right.
You're not spending $60 a month.
You don't
to
have
go
to
out and watch
subscribe
it.
to actually see this.
Right. You just
Right.
step your lazy ass out your fucking door.
Right. Go out and get in.
Right.
Yeah.
Jump
Just
in
do it.
to what is life.
Right? Experience it for a little bit, you know? But yeah, it could be free from this deity, also, like, leaving the deity that we have made the worship platform of social media. Like, leave it and go.
Right.
So, yeah, it could be a double. And again, the earth has a real voice. It's real.
Mother Earth.
But it's real. It's not synthetic. It's not this dead verse that we all have subscribed to.
It's not created by man.
Right.
It's nature, y'all.
I'm
Although you can keep your fucking spiders.
He's not a spider person.
No.
Not at all.
Kill them all.
That's enough. That's just gross. He's bathing in, like, toxic waste with Rubber Ducky.
Rubber ducky,
You're the one.
You make my bath time lots of fun.
I think I'd rather listen to Floor. Honestly. She ignoring her child for the social, yeah.
And the child's tears.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And she's smiling through it all.
Yep.
I've seen that in real life.
Me too. I think the king is a visual representation of sitting on the toilet. Because a lot of people consider it the throne. And how many of us spend so much time sitting on the toilet?
Yeah. Although I will say that, the instrumental changing to chaos, like the bombardment of so much different, not just like what we think of as instrumental noise, but like bad news, just information overload, basically, from all different places that we take in,
right,
that we're also feeding or ignoring our children. You know, like we're feeding them this perspective, or, you know, you saw her with the megaphone with the child, like she's indoctrinating her into this culture of addiction, basically.
This cult.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I'm also like, I'm sure some people could see my face, like, obviously some of the stuff that's happening on screen I'm finding somewhat upsetting. And, you know, it's kind of referring back to some of the stuff we talked about, like when this guy's phone turned red, everyone ganged up on him, and there's the guy that's standing in the front smiling and just filming it instead of stepping in and helping him. And I don't know what the red kind of signals, whether it's like he woke up from the Matrix or what, but, you know, and then of course there's the chick that's getting Botox in her lip, which I keep cringing about because that surgery looks absolutely terrible, having a needle stuck in your lip. And then we've got Marco, who's the insomniac, paranoiac, and he, you know, ODing on every pill he could possibly take to, I don't know, lose weight, stay up. He's a paranoiac because, you know, all the information we have access to isn't necessarily accurate. So there's a crap ton of conspiracy theories to go down and people become insomniacs. Because of the light structure of a lot of our electronics actually they stimulate your brain too much to allow you to sleep. Right. And also because we go down the rabbit hole, we lose track of time. So
I would say I think the only one that really, really hit me was the little girl being neglected.
Right. This gentleman getting beat up was the one that also got to me. Well, and then you saw Flora's dress, which cage. I think is so cool, is also a cage for, I would say maybe like the next generation is what it's,
right.
You know. But yeah, it's that mixed with the chaotic instrumental. Definitely powerful.
Yeah, he is on
it is on a... yes.
You think maybe this is supposed to be like set in the future and he's viewing how they got to where they're at?
It started as a baby at the very beginning. Yeah, see? Like life stages or something like that.
Or maybe that's how they learn.
Well, it is. I would definitely say that's how they learn. It's kind of matrixy. But what's so sad to me...
That stands for get off your fucking phone. No, I'm kidding.
What's so sad to me is they definitely film this with a dichotomy of, like, look where they were placed. They're, like, on almost sacrificial altars being indoctrinated into this synthetic world. And yet they're in a beautiful setting of a forest on beautiful mountains and... you know, just in the middle of nature, not even in suburbia, and yet here they are, like, fully plugged in with the screen attached to them.
Right.
Again, guys, I don't think that this is a condemnation of all social media. I think this is just more, like, pointing out the addiction and false dependency that we put on it. Like, instead of using it as a tool, again, we have become the tools.
Right.
So, definitely, get out a bit.
I was going to say, again, the Prince EA thing.
That's guys, if you haven't heard spoken poems, that he's one of the best out there.
We may review that sometime in the next couple of days.
So, just to go over some of this, it's feast your eyes on the black mirror, feed the beast, join the gathering, tell a tale, feast of fears is drawing near. It's this cult-like fascination with tales, social media, false, synthetic. Feed your eyes on the black mirror, again. Beyond the human horizon, something terrifying sleeps. Noise from the sunless world. Your mirror is black. Again, it's that part is a repeat of the earlier. So, again, I really think the Black Mirror is talking about the TV show. So it's what could really go wrong with electronic age, I guess. But yeah, so beyond the human horizon, beyond what is actual reality. Something terrifying sleeps.
I guess, aside from all that, if I had some advice for people, I would say it is okay to put your phones down.
Definitely.
Spend time with your loved ones. If you're out on a date, don't worry about who's messaging you. Don't worry about whatever else is going on. Be with your loved ones. If you're out with your kids, be with your kids. I understand time to time taking pictures, but don't let it take over.
Yeah, don't go
It's
out of your
people-
way to make sure you have. I mean, the picture thing is like.
people are more focused on capturing moments
Than having the moments.
than having moments.
Right.
It's when you're spending so much of your life, even just recording or taking pictures, but you're spending it through the lens on your phone instead of being there, then you're not really going to get the love and...
You're not having the human experience.
Yeah. You're not getting the experience you're supposed to as a human being.
And honestly, you'll never get that time back.
Right.
Kids won't be kids forever. Your parents won't be around forever. You never know when anybody's going to go. So, I mean, unless you are waiting on...
Stop taking pictures of your meal. Just eat the damn thing.
Right.
Enjoy it. Like...
Taste it.
It's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, so, yeah, I really think this is about addiction to social media versus just using it to connect to the human experience. you
Right.
know? I really liked this, guys. I can't wait to see her perform it live. Because I think
This
that'll
is-
be amazing.
This is... Now, see, this is going to be something a lot of Nightwish fans are going to disagree with me on. I would have actually preferred to watch this video than watch them do this live. Do not get me wrong. I will still really enjoy the opportunity to hear this live. But this video adds so much to the song.
The official
So
music
much.
video, guys, like their visuals, they really put a lot of time and effort into pairing them up so perfectly.
Right.
It adds to the story, to the dimensions that they've already created.
Right. So, and just to let you know how much it adds to it, again, I love the song. It's an amazing song. We still would have had a lot of the same conversations. Guys, if you guys didn't notice, I was this close to tearing up.
Yeah,
And it was because of the video.
yeah, it
And
does make an effect.
It's... Man.
Well, and of course, like
Such
I
a
said,
good
I
video.
was pissed. Like, and I'm sure people could tell I was aggravated by watching the person get beat up and the kid getting ignored and so on. And those were the visuals tied in
Right.
with the instrumentals actually at that point. So it does make a difference.
Again, I will absolutely love to watch it live when it does come out.
Oh yeah, I want to see
But-
her windmill headbang to that part.
Which she was doing in the video, actually.
Well, and I want to see the pyromane, the show. All right, guys.
But yeah, if you guys liked the video, slash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below, what did you think of Nightwish Noise? Also comment down below if there's anything else that you guys would like to see reacted to. Check the description below for all the things.
Push our buttons. Come join us on our other social media platforms, mostly Twitter if you want a quicker response. That's also a great place to drop your requests.
With that being said, we love you guys. Thank you all for watching. And we cannot wait to see you depraved people later.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.